All right, Bark here, back again. This is my all-encompassing Box Fox starter guide. So this is going to be a pretty long video, maybe some rambling here and there, so do uh, resort to the timestamps if needed. But this is going to be my beginner's guide for Box Fox. How to become speed. How to get as fast as me, how to get as fast as some of your pros. I'm going to go over all of the nuances, all of the easy stuff, the intermediate stuff, the expert, and advanced. So this guide will be both for techniques in the game and box techniques as well. We don't need to be fast just in the game. We need to be fast and smart with our controller usage and what buttons we use. So before I go into any tech, I do want to, bring your attention to the chart above. There are some things that are labeled shield L, L cancel with Z. There's a few things that are recommended to you. There are a few buttons that you should honestly only use for certain techs, and it will change your life for the better. I've used all kinds of different layouts. I played on Smashbox for years. I played on the old layouts, the new layouts. This is the layout for Fox. You seriously do not want any other layout. I was stubborn for a little bit, but after a while, you can only concede to this layout. It's absolutely broken for Fox. And hopefully, as this goes, I will convince you why that is. So just for a quick rundown, a lot of people will L cancel with R or L because that's how you do it on the GameCube controller. You want to use Z here. It's a bit easier. You don't get locked out of your tech window, which isn't the most important part. There are people that want R and they want to buffer their tech every time. If that's the case, swap the buttons. There are people that do that. I don't encourage it if you play Fox, and you'll learn that a bit later, why that is. So I do recommend L canceling with Z for that reason, so that you get to keep shield here for wave dashing, as well as other things. So that's the first thing I would mention. The second thing I'd mention is shielding with L. This will change your life entirely. If you're already good with movement and you're shielding here, you're kind of making things difficult here. Now you have to gallop to wave dash. It could add more tension to your game. And after the wave dash, you have to return to lower row, which is actually not the worst part about it. I just think, overlapping here is a bit awkward, and I feel like you're going to get a bit too jumbled up doing that. Whereas in the moment, you have an entire finger dedicated to shield, and then your hand is ready to rip anything that you need out of shield. What else? Okay, so we have that. We have L canceling with Z, shielding with L, wave dashing with R. So here's a good mental note for the box when you're just picking it up. Ignore this whole row. Just don't even come up here, except for one thing, wave dashing. So keep your fingers down here the whole time, and only come up for wave dashing. Wave dash, come down. Wave dash, 14 frames of lag, so you have enough time to transition back down to home row. And that one mental note will pretty much delete all of the mental bloat you have when you look at the controller. And that's always going to be the case. A lot of players never come up here. They don't use the light shield buttons. I don't. I use Z for light shield. Even when the box first came out, those buttons didn't exist. That was a requested feature from a very specific type of player. Nothing wrong with that type of player either. So at some point, I do think light shielding will, have its merit and have its usages. Just not something I focus on or encourage people to focus on, at least right out the gate. So other than that, shield with L, super important. Wave dash with the top row only. Jump cancel, simple. Nothing really too different about that. I mean, a lot of people might do from pinky to ring finger. I recommend middle finger. Personally, it's a bit easier. Less strenuous on the pinky, but you can do either or. It's not that big of a deal. There's one thing I will mention, because I've trained a few people on the box, and when they learn how to chain grab, at least with Fox, they drop it a lot or they find it awkward, and I find out that they're up throwing with their pinky. They're up throwing up with their pinky. Just use C-stick up. It's a lot easier. It's a bit quicker. The fingers are right here. Boop, boop, boop. Definitely a lot simpler. Everyone I've told that, it just changes. It's a nice quality of life change, in my opinion. Don't have to do it, but it's just a quality of life change. And I guess up B recovery. I would only focus on mod X and mod Y. I wouldn't even worry about the C-stick angles. Just learn locations where these two will work, or default down, down and up, or right and up, right and down. And over time, you'll start to realize, okay, I needed a bit more shallow. Just just to start, get some experience by ignoring the C-stick angles. Just get a lot of experience with mod X, mod Y, and default, and then you'll be like, you'll start to see the spots where you're like, oh, I needed a bit more shallow, and then you can start incorporating the C-stick angles. Personally, I only use C up and C back. Those tend to be my favorite sweet spot C-stick angles for when normal angles don't work. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna go over things one by one, and we'll see how that goes. We're gonna start off with really, really easy tech, and over time we're gonna ramp up to more and more and more advanced tools. So this video hopefully will give you guys a lot of content and a lot of ideas for years to come. So a lot of this tech I've worked on for years, and at this point it's all kind of muscle memory to me at this point. And to this day I still lab everything I list here. This is specifically movement oriented with some normal tech sprinkled in here and there. But yeah, let's begin. All right, let's start with the number one thing that I would recommend on a box player to lab or to get used to is going to be slow walk. There's a saying in the box world where the box makes all of the hard tech easy and all of the easy tech hard. So this is something I'm going to recommend people lab and have in their arsenal because it is going to carry over. So slow walking, it seems obviously easy. You just hold mod X and then you walk forward. But there's going to be instances where you're going to want to walk tilt, walk slightly forward, and you're going to want to let go really quickly. So I would just get used to flicking forward and mod X at the same time so that you can pretty much get into walk state without having to buffer it. Because I know a lot of people who start on the box, they'll get into walk with like they'll buffer it with waveshine. But ideally you want to be able to slap it here because this timing, what we're doing right here with the slaps, is going to make other tech like uptilting much easier to comprehend and get quick and fast at. So I would just get used to being able to enter walk here whenever you want, and just know that the thumb button for mod X is the button that's getting hit first. They're kind of being hit at the same time, but the thumb is being hit slightly earlier. So I would just get used to this. And once you get really, really comfortable moving around in the slow walk, notice up tilting. So up tilting, you need to use up. Unfortunately, there's no other way to up tilt here. And there's no tilt stick. So the only way to really up tilt is to get up buffered or to have mod X being held down for up tilt. But you're not going to be given opportunities to set up, and have this button being held down for you. And you're going to want to be able to rip an up tilt. So that same little like motion you have here to time the turnarounds, we're going to want to slap and do down tilt. So you're slapping here. If you fuck up, you're going to up smash or up air. That's if you don't hit mod X quick enough. And you're kind of just slapping mod X up jab. And you kind of want to make it one motion. You don't want to feel like you're, slap, 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 slap. You don't want it to feel like that. You want it to feel like one easy motion. And this is something I think I lab every day. I think people should look at and just get comfortable being able to just make it one input. Because if you can make it one input, you can do it out of anything. Teeter, cancel, up tilt. Run, cancel, up tilt. Run, cancel, up tilt. Whenever you want, just be able to rip it. And if you want to be able to turn around and rip it, it's a bit harder. But that same slapping motion we're going to use with this as well. Just make sure that all the buttons are being pressed and you let go of forward and back before you rip the up tilt, or you're going to get one of these. And if you forget to hold down mod X, you might get an up smash. So just be really, really careful with how you look at up tilt. Get really, really proficient with being able to do an up tilt from nothing being pressed until one motion. Don't hit mod X and then do the up tilt. Make it one motion. Trust me, it'll change the way you up tilt. It'll be much faster. And even in today, I still lab this every day. I just have it mixed in with higher tech difficulties that we're going to go over later. So, you know, we're just going from easiest to hardest here. So once you get really, really comfortable with maneuvering your character and being able to move within the confines of walk, you know, let's start dash dancing. Let's leave the mod X button. Let's start dash dancing, get used to dash dancing. And, you know, every level of player can benefit from having this in their routine. You can go on a platform and just get really, really comfortable with dash dancing in place. Make sure you don't fall off. Or if you're on the ground, dash dance in place. Maybe move forward with it. Get comfortable moving forward with it. Get comfortable moving back. Do it both ways. Do it in place. Maybe like 5-10 minutes, maybe less of doing dash dancing. And, you know, just get really, really comfortable. Dash dancing is one of the most used neutral tools in the game. It's kind of where people say the game is jazz, or it's kind of like, you know, it's one of the better feeling games. It's quick. It's hard to really explain how to use it efficiently in game. Just know that you need to have it, at least to some extent, to, you know, keep your opponent on the edge and conceal whether you're going to overshoot or undershoot options. So just get good at dash dancing fast, get dash dancing slow, you know, enter foxtrot. This is called foxtrotting, where you just do a dash and you don't enter the run and you let go and you kind of flick. You can flick it a bit longer. It doesn't have to be an actual, like a quick flick. And you can just mess with the dash dance speed. Just get really, really good with dash dancing. I would always, any level of player should be doing this. So wave dash is next. So just like before, earlier I mentioned how wave dashing is only done on the top row, and it's kind of the only time you ever need to go to the top row. So this is something I would get used to, is playing in neutral state, keeping your hand here. Don't rest your hand here in preparation to wave dash. I want you to instinctively come up for the wave dash and come back down. So you're gonna rotate up for the wave dash, come back to neutral. And the great part about this is the travel time from top row back down to the middle is not really that big of a deal because of the frame lag of wave dash, which is like 14 frames. Or 13. I think it's like 10, and like jump squat is like 3. And during that lag, you have plenty enough time to rotate back to home row and it not really being a burden on your tech skill. So just get used to moving and doing all the previous steps, you know, of dash dancing and foxtrotting, and just throw in the wave dashes. We're gonna keep layering in tech here. So we're gonna get used to the wave dash, get used to doing it backwards. The timing is a bit different for backwards, especially when you shine. So be careful with how you're doing this. Feel it out. Get your wave dashes out of your dash dance. The next I think we're going to talk about is, let's talk about shuffling. So this has been a pretty interesting debate. A lot of people L cancel with Z. A lot of people L cancel with R and L, but not on the box specifically. It's more the button location that's important, not whether if it's R, L, or Z. There is some debate that will go on for eternity which one is better, but truly one is not better than the other. They all have their pros and cons. And on the GameCube controller, you're sacrificing not having Z because it's just easier with L and R. And on the box, it's actually easier to use Z with the Haxbox layout. So we're going to use Z for L canceling. If you use like R, you're going to notice how my hand has to constantly reset during really, really important like shuffle nairs. It's very strenuous. You don't have to do it that way. And you're going to realize once you switch to this button, you can make this button L and R if you want. You don't have to L cancel with Z. It's just recommended because the shield button being here has other usages as I explain more and more tech. But just for now, let's just work off what we have here with the box layout and just get used to L canceling with Z. So jump aerial and then L canceling with Z here. And this could feel a little strange with the tendons because the middle finger is floating when you L cancel because of tension. So I supplement and I come down with the wrist. So I L cancel and come down with the whole wrist and slap both the jump and the Z button for ergonomic purposes. So slapping the jump button doesn't really do anything on the come down if you hit it at the same time as L cancel. And I find that method is a bit more ergonomic. So when you're labbing shuffles, if that kind of helps you feel less awkward doing it, it for sure helped me when learning this layout. Give it a try, see if you like that for L canceling. If not, maybe you just need to hit Z and that's comfortable too. I personally don't like the floating tension of that finger, so I just come down with the wrist. Definitely something I'd recommend getting good at. So on the topic of shuffling, do not ignore regular non-fast followed shuffles. I know it's a little redundant or play on words because shuffle stands for short hop fast fall. A non-fast followed shuffle makes no sense. So just it's more of like an aerial L cancel and an al. We're doing an al here. So get used to doing non-fast followed aerials as much as you're doing shuffled aerials because so many people, even me, I had to unlearn this myself. This is something I struggled with for a while. Everyone, when you're on the come up and you're learning the game, everyone overemphasizes shuffle, 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 shuffle. You got to shuffle. If you learn to shuffle, shuffling is so sick. You want to know what's also sick? Not getting red and getting your timing mixed up, and having moves that are active than more than a couple frames. So non-shuffled aerials are just as, if not more powerful than shuffled aerials. So you want to mix in non-fast followed aerials just as much as fast followed aerials. So you're going to get more distance from the non-shuffled, so you can cross up people's shields. You're gonna and you have more active hitboxes. So if you're doing aerials in place, you're gonna want a non-fast fall drill in place to cover in place. If you do fast fall, you're missing out on a lot of time where that aerial's active and more efficient. So there's going to be times where you're going to want the fast fall and the non-fast fall. So please practice this evenly in your routines. It's definitely going to help you out a lot, especially with a lot of players. They just completely throw away the option of non-fast fall once they learn shuffling. They never return to it. It's a pretty interesting phenomena I've noticed with people learning this game. So do keep that in mind. I would practice both shuffled and non-fast falled aerial L cancels. So after that, we have wave shining. So this is just literally shining mixed in with the wave dashing that we've done before. And this is where I'm going to start emphasizing how OP the box layout is. The shine, it's so comfortable to time this technique with shine being here and wave dash being here. You sort of just climb the stairs. B, jump B, B, and I'm holding down here on the left. You'll notice I'm just holding it down the whole time. You can notice I'm literally just climbing the right side. And you can just do this in place over and over again. Just get used to the timing. This is your bread and butter. You're going to be using this forever. There's so many different kinds of tech where you want to end a wave shine, a shine with this. So definitely, and it's going to get you good at wave dashing. It's going to get you good at wave shining. So I would get very, very good at this. Even when we get to future and harder techs in this video, you're going to notice there is some form of this in my routines. So this is just an early stage version of it. So I would get used to being able to get a wave dash down immediately after a shine. You want to be able to climb the stairs you can go very fast here, and you want to be fast, but start slow. I would just get fluent with this, and then once you get good at that, add a forward input, and you'll notice if you're going forward, you can hold down forward the whole time. If you do that backwards, it's awkward. You're gonna turn around. It's a little awkward to wave shine back with your face forward, which is the whole purpose of wave shining back most of the time, is you want to wave shine while facing forward. So you want to be careful with how you manipulate the buttons. So normally I would hold down, shine, and then you can hold down if you want. It makes it a bit harder at the time. A lot of people recommend just letting go of neutral stick to get a timing for it, but I hold down because I've gotten used to the timing. I don't really make this mistake as much where you turn around on accident, but just to be aware that mistake is possible. So if you're having mistakes, maybe you need to let go of the analog stick entirely before doing the wave dash down. So I would get used to that as well, add in some wave shines, and if you want to slow walk, you can slap the stick after the wave shine. and then you get good at looping it. Do a bunch of those. I wave shine all the time. And then once you get good at the wave shining, you can put together shining and shuffling, and you can toss in a bunch of this stuff. Shine, shuffle, shine, shuffle, shine, shuffle. Shine non-fast fault aerials. Mix it up, get good at all. And then eventually you're going to be able to blender in all of the tech I'm explaining to you to give yourself a nice routine. So we're just climbing and slowly building up performance. So we have the shine shuffles and the shine non-fast fault aerials that we can do. So after that, what else do we have? We have moonwalking. So moonwalking is a bit strange. There is 2 methods to do it, and I find a lot of players have difficulty understanding how to do this. And the thing is, they do understand how it works. It's just I believe most box players aren't ripping it fast enough. So we're gonna go back to that slow walking method I mentioned before, where we started up like this, where we slap and we just get into the walk, because Fox can moonwalk out of his walk. So we want to be able to set up walk immediately. Like let's say you get a nair here, and you want to moonwalk. You want to be able to enter walk as quickly as possible so you can start your moonwalk. So get into walk, and you can grab a ledge here on Yoshi's if you want, and you can like ledge dash into walk. Yeah, you can buffer the walk out of ledge dash, so you can lab 2 things at once. And I will have a ledge dashing section later, but this is just kind of like a route that I do a lot when I lab my moonwalks. I'll buffer walk out of a ledge dash, so you get reps on the ledge dash and you get the moonwalk. If you don't know how to ledge dash yet, you can just slow buffer walk with the walk method and do it out of walk. And the way I'm doing it is I'm holding a direction, full left or full right. And the idea is when you want to rip the moonwalk, you instantly let go and you hit back and you piano the whole way. You just slap them all down at the same time. And you want to be as quickly as possible. And you'll notice when I put it together and I slow walk to the left, I'm pianoing as fast as possible in the opposite direction. So forward, back down, forward, forward, back down, forward. And over time, you'll get used to it. The other method is, a lot of box players actually prefer this method. I don't like this method that much. This method skips the down input and it's just down back. But I found you can only really do it out of a wave dash. So you wave dash and during, or buffer. It's a way to buffer the moonwalk as long as your character isn't in a state. So like if you're in wave dash or in the lag of a wave dash, you can wave dash buffer with forward back. So this allows you to skip the down input for the moonwalk. I'm not that good at it. I personally don't recommend it, but it is something you can do. I recommend just doing down, back, forward. Just go through down. It makes things a lot easier. You can do it out of slow walk, easy. You can still do it out of wave dash pretty easy too. The only difference is that you might not buffer the perfect one. I know Gallon the Wise is a really, really big fan of doing back forward out of wave dash. So if you want to check out that, you can check out his video on how to do moonwalking, but I recommend just pianoing back, down, forward. So walk, back, down, forward. So that's for moonwalking. And then next we have shield dropping. So if you're coming from a GameCube controller, we're going to be doing the axe method. It's the only method that really works on the box, because we used to have a broken button back in the day on the Smashbox where we could do the neutral shield drop, and that got banned real quick. So we want to dash in a direction and shield stop. And once we're in this position, you just hit down, and that's really it. So I will teach you how to get out of the lockout, right? So if you end up hitting mod X here and you want to wiggle the shield, and you let go of mod X, you're gonna have to let go of mod X to shield drop. So just be mindful that you can't shield drop with mod X, and you might have to let go and reset your analog stick to shield drop again. So just be wary on the lockout. If you get locked out, you might have to reset your stick, which would require you to let go of mod X and reapply it. So just be careful of that when you do your shield dropping. But overall, shield dropping is pretty effortless. You dash in a direction, you shield, and you hit down, and then you can loop it, and you can get faster and faster. And there's going to be a future tech that I'm going to explain later that is pretty much that on steroids. So let's go over something that I train a lot and I look at a lot when I warm up, and this is going to be the dash state and the run state. And I preface a lot of my tech based on whether I'm in the dash state or the run state. And PewPew has a really good video on this. You can Google PewPew cactuar dashing. It's pretty much that, but just giving you more ideas on what to do when you go for something like that. So basically, the dash state is when Fox leaves the ground and moves forward. So it's going to be the initial state right here. Eventually, he moves into run. But what I want you guys to focus on is the initial dash here. So you're allowed to dash stance in the dash state. You're not allowed to use C-stick. If you look, I'm mashing the C-stick. You can't really get a C-stick during the dash dance unless you pivot. So you can't do that. You can dash attack. If you actually wanted to use the C-stick, you got to jump cancel. So you have to jump and do it. So there's specific things that you have to do to operate your character within the confines of dash. So you're limited to some options in the dash. And when you enter the run, you're limited into the run as well. So I'm going to talk about a few different things that you can do in both states that you should be labbing and focusing on. So the first thing is pivoting. Pivoting must be done in the dash state. You cannot pivot in a run. Once you enter run, if you try to turn around, you get into that sluggish animation, which is why I'm definitely pretty strict when I talk to people about this. Get comfortable in your dash stance in the Foxtrot. This is your dash state. Once you enter run, you're playing a different character. Once you enter run, you're pretty much in a different stance when you enter run. It is a good thing to think of. So just be aware when you're in the dash animation, you can't shine. You have to either jump, you have to shield, or you have to pivot. And there might be a few other options I'm thinking of, but for the most part, you're pretty restricted within the dash stance, honestly. And if you wave dash, you're gonna get, you're in lag frames. That's no good. So let's go over a few things. So first, yeah, pivoting. There's a few different ways to pivot on the box. There's you slap all buttons down at the same time, where you dash in one direction, and you slap all the buttons down at the same time. I find this method to be okay, but the method I find to be best is the reverse Hadouken. And the reverse Hadouken is, if you played Street Fighter, you do down forward, right? And you do your Hadouken. To pivot, back down seems to be a good method. So you dash one direction, and kind of like the moonwalking, you just skip the part where you finish it. You just down back, down back, down back, down back. And you can get pivoting pretty effortless this way. And doing it this way is actually really good, because it's going to help you do PC drops and moon dropping in future steps of this guide. So definitely take a look at this. I'm not much of a pivot connoisseur. I mostly pivot when I want to up smash, and there is an easier way. If you want to do an up smash, you actually don't have to do the down back method. You can literally just hit back. You can just hit back and JC it, and you'll get it every time. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I definitely recommend down back. So if you do it this way, down back, down back. And if you want to practice up tilt, it's a bit nerfed on box, but you can do it. Pivot down tilt is pretty strong, but overall, I think shield stopping is a bit better in the dash dance, and I'm going to go over why. So in Melee, or at least on the box, I found pivoting is easy when you kind of set it up and it's more like intentional. You see how like I'm dashing and then I'm setting up the pivot, and I'm getting it every time. It's pretty consistent. Now this is what I mean. Try to pivot while doing very fast dash dances. It's almost impossible to get one that's crispy and what you'd want. You might get it sometimes, but it's just a bit awkward. I find shield stopping to be something a bit more accurate. So when I'm within the dash dance confines, especially if you watch Hacks, Hacks is a big advocate of this as well. So when you're within the dash dance, when you're in the dash state and you want to play in the dash state, one of the better options is shield. So when you shield in the dash state, you don't go anywhere. You completely stop like a pivot. And you can jump out of it fast as fuck too. So if you see what I mean, you almost get a pivot aerial if you do it quick enough. And this is something I've been practicing a lot, is shield stopping aerials in the dash animation. So this is pretty advanced. It may not seem advanced, but it's actually kind of tough. So, and I'll give you a reason why it's so tough. So, and this is something I do this every day. This is very good to add to your repertoire. So the way it works, when you dash forward and shield stop, you actually need to wait 5 frames. When you dash back, you only need to wait 3 frames. So you can actually theoretically shield stop faster on a dash back, 2 frames faster actually. So if you try to do the dash back shield stop timing forward, you're gonna roll. So it's good to have a understanding of how to do them both ways. So you want to be able to play neutral and shield stop and be able to jump out of it whenever you want. You want to be able to do this all day. You want to be able to have crispy movement, and you want to use the shield stop as a marker, not as a defensive tool. So keep this in mind. Shield is a movement tool in Melee. It stops your momentum completely within the dash animation. And remember, if you're in dash, you're forced to commit to an option. You either have to stop, which is not very fun. You have to enter run. You have to shield, or you have to jump. There's a couple other options, but you're pretty much forced to make a situation, or wave dash down, which still puts you in the wave dash animation, which is risky. So shield stopping, like pivoting, gives you a unique way to reposition your character and put out shuffle aerials. So this is where you can start applying layered routines. So before we were just, we were labbing shuffles. Now we're labbing shield stop shuffles. And if you watch Hacks play, if you go back and watch some of his videos, he does these so fast that you don't even see his shield. So this is something I work on daily. I'll dash dance into back airs, and the goal is to get these as efficient as possible. The goal is to basically not see the shield at all. You can rip them very fast. Just keep that 2 frame difference in mind. If you're doing a shield stop forward, you have to wait slightly longer than if you were to dash back. So just keep that in mind when you lab, and you do have to adjust depending which direction you're looking in. So that's within the dash animation. So we have pivoting within the dash animation, which you can look at, and shield stopping, which is, this is an endless routine that you could do. It strengthens the pinky for the shield stopping, and this is why shield stopping, shielding in general on the pinky is efficient. Imagine I want you to pick a different button on the box and tell me I've tried like thumb here and it works somewhat, but I want you to pick a button and try to find a method better than this. So you have pinky to shield stop and your other hand to rip a shuffle aerial whenever you want, right? So you're able to reposition and get a hitbox out as fast as possible. So you can hold your ground with a down air, you can poke out with back air. Very, very, very easy. Both of your hands share equal load here. There's not too much overwhelmingness here. I do think it is a bit harsh on the pinky, because the box does actually, at least for me, I've never been able to help the flying pinky method issue. So I do think this technique is a bit harsh on the pinky. But it is possible, and it is the best, I believe. So get used to shield stopping with your pinky and doing your shuffle aerials after it. Maybe sometimes you don't want to do an aerial, and then you practice your wave dash backs out of this. So you shield stop wave dash back, shield stop shuffle, and just get good at doing all of the tech built into the shield stop. So I get another reason why shield stopping would be really, really good. If you are someone who does aerials a lot and you drift forward and you do a lot of this, the shield stopping cuts your drift animation. So you don't go as far. You're able to hold your ground. You're able to hold center. You don't give up center as much. Like I said, the shield stopping is essential to lab. This is the number one thing I recommend people to lab and get used to. It's a marker. It literally lets you hold your ground and reposition and draw aerials where you want. So definitely look at this. I would 100% get very, very good with shield stopping with your pinky here. Okay. So what do we have? We have the pivot. We have shield stopping. So now that we've looked at the confines of being stuck in your dash animation, let's look at our options with run, because we do want to practice out of our run as well. So when we enter run, we can no longer shield stop. We can, but notice you're sliding. This can be a little tricky unless you do like drop-off tricks, which are pretty niche. I don't really see anyone do those. But do be careful, you can slide off here. So it's good to know so you don't accidentally kill yourself. So it is a bit weird. You do lose that option of completely stopping your momentum in a run, but you are given the access to crouch out of your run, which you can't do in dash. So you're unable to crouch in dash, but you're able to crouch once you enter run. So this is something you can lab on repeat. And this is actually easier on GameCube controller fob because there's an angle method where you hit back and you roll almost like to an up method and you get the dash back every time. The box, it's actually pretty difficult to go from a down state to dash back. Sometimes you'll get this a lot where you accidentally walk out of it because doing a one frame link from down to back is actually pretty timing intensive. So there is a method that you can do to mitigate this, and it's to use the same finger. So let's say you're tech chasing and you hold down and you want to be able to dash back. You can use the same finger to roll back and you'll get the frame one timing every time that way. So there's two ways to do it. You can time it like a Chad, or you can just get the free one by just slipping the finger here. And this is called cactuar dashing, by the way. And if you get really, really good at it, you can enter run, and it almost looks like a dash dance. So like if I enter run here and I crouch and I dash back quick enough, so I'm entering run, crouch, and then dash back. Enter, run, crouch, dash back. It's a bit difficult, but you can get it if you're good enough. Enter, run, crouch, dash back. Enter, run, crouch back, dash back. Enter, run, crouch, dash back, aerial. Enter, run, crouch, dash back, aerial. And just do it fast. And most people do dash dances out of it, like you'll run through someone and people will crouch and dash back, or crouch, wave dash. So it's kind of just how you want to do something out of a cactuar dash. When you're in crouch, you've reset your character, so you can pretty much do whatever you want out of crouch. But cactuar dashing is very, very good. It's efficient, it's quick, people don't expect it. It is a bit challenging though. You want to be able to rip this, especially if you're tech chasing people who are knocked down. And this little slide here will let you get your like your grabs when they roll for reaction tech chases and whatnot. Or if you just want to do it for movement, like let's say you want to whip punish someone and you're dash dancing, kind of come back here, get the down, flick back, and get your shuffle. So you can do that. So other than cactuar dashing, there is another quick way of resetting your character when you're in run, and it's teeter canceling. You see a lot of pro players do this on downtime on setups. It's very, very good to be able to, it's very good to be comfortable, to move your character around and just be able to stop on a dime. It's a free break. You instantly reset the neutral. And you can accidentally fall off. If you fuck up, you fall off and you're forced to up B, you're going to get cheesed. So it's good to get comfortable with the stages. Like right now, the camera is nowhere near the teeter. I can't even see the teeter, but if I close my eyes, I'm still going to get it. It's second nature to be able to teeter cancel. So if you're having trouble with this timing, you want to let go before you even get to the ledge. So I let go right around here, like at the start of the platform. And you kind of just let the character slide for you. And you don't want to wait until like the last frame because you're more likely to make the mistake. You can, you'll get there faster, but just be careful because you can kill yourself here. But this is where you can practice some this is where you can practice more things. So we're going to go back to our wave dashing and our up tilting. And this is where you can kind of smush everything together and get more mileage out of your training. So if you're already good at the prior things, looking at this is going to get you even better. So out of the teeter, you can, oh my God, the sky's the limit. So, but I'm only going to give you a couple things. So we have the Ramen Noodle, which is a tech as old as time. And all that is it's a wave dash back as quickly as possible from the ledge, being near the ledge. And the reason why this is even a tech at all is because of the risk factor. A lot of people, if you fuck up the wave dash, if it's late or if the timing's wrong, you accidentally kill yourself, and it's not fun. This is a very risky tech, I will say, but man, is it efficient at doing what you need. Like if you need to kill someone on a dime, watch how fast teeter cancel Ramen Noodle is. Because most of the time people do this. They do shine, they'll do this, or they'll wait and then wave dash back, and they'll add a dash back to make it easier. But what if you had the confidence to come here? Let's see, I killed myself already, so. But I do this in game. You'll see me do this a lot. Teeter cancel, Ramen Noodle. And it's a bit harder on the stage because of the lit, but it's still possible. I thought this really wasn't that good until one of my buddies, Talon, forced me to do it. And I realized it's actually not that bad. And it's really, really good at stealing the ledge really, really quickly. And without people just don't really realize how quickly you can teleport to the ledge from teeter. But you need to have a really, really good wave dash back here. If it's not perfect, you will die. So it's good to be proficient with the wave dash. This is why I mentioned earlier, it's always good to lab your wave dash, because if it's not crispy, you're not going to get your ramen noodle here. So that's one thing you can do here. You can also do the up tilt slap, which is what I've been doing recently. Teeter cancel up tilt. And you can kind of put that together. And you're going to want to be able to throw this out if you need. And just being able to dash back out of it. Like, let's say you're in the corner and someone's here and you want to... a lot of the times, if they're unable to see the teeter, they don't even think about it. So let's say I'm camping here, and sometimes it's scary to be in your dash animation, and you want to give up space, so you end up backing up a little bit too much. So instead of suffocating yourself and limiting your dash animation here, you can confidently enter run here, and then you have access to just run back in with a dash. So you're basically giving yourself a free dash dance out of run, which is not usually possible in most situations in Melee. So this is really, really nice to be able to have basically on the dime, just be able to teeter cancel when you want and come out as quickly as possible. So I would always recommend having a way of labbing your teeter cancels consistently when you're doing like routines. All right, what do we have? We have, so that's like a lot of explanations for the dash and the run animation. I guess out of run, I didn't really mention the simple things like run, down tilt, running shine. A lot of this is kind of, you should already like understand. So as long as you get comfortable with that, you should be able to put the pieces together. So what's next? So we just did the ramen noodle. Okay. Let's look at shield. Let's look at Shai dropping. So we looked at shield dropping and we looked at shield stopping. So this is kind of like both of them put together in one bursty input. So you see how quick I'm doing these shield stops? And I pretty much don't want to see the shield at all. With Shai drops, it's a little bit different, but my explanation is more for like an idea of how to input it. So a Shai drop is basically a buffered shield. If you hold Z or any of the shield buttons and you jump, you'll notice shield gets buffered. I'm not timing a shield. So there is a way to buffer shields. So a way to set up a Shai drop is to basically shield drop before the shield comes out. And if you do it quick enough, you can input the down method, the down back method, before you even input the shield, and you won't even see the shield come out. So you can Shai drop back air, and if you get good at like teeter canceling, it's even faster. It's a bit more niche. But Chef has some really good videos of teeter cancel Shai drops. But this is definitely something I recommend people labbing, is finding ways to get on platforms as quickly as possible and Shai dropping. You don't want to Shai drop every time, but you should be able to Shai drop on a dime if you need to. It's much faster than shielding and then back airing. You don't want people to see your shield. So a lot of people are confused by the term Shai dropping and they're like, oh, well, that's just shield dropping anyways. It's slightly different. It is technically a buffer, so just keep that in mind when you look at Shai dropping. And there's threads if you want to look up. It's spelled SHAI. Okay. So next is probably my more advanced tech. This is something I've been labbing for a couple years. And if you're a bit more advanced and you want something spicy, this is the jump cancel shine. This actually has to do with the dash window. So remember how before I mentioned you actually can't shine in the dash animation? Like if you input it, it won't come out. Down can't come out when you're dashing forward. But when you're airborne, shine can. So this is a technique called the jump cancel shine. And the idea is that you want to shine with the jump button as quickly as possible. You want it to come out during the jump squat, but if you get a little airborne, it's okay. There's videos explaining that as long as you time the wave dash down quick enough, you can still get follow-ups. So the goal is to just get a shine input here as quickly as possible. So we don't want to do it from dash yet. Just get used to jumping, jump shine. Just look at this real quick. So this is another reason why I'm going to emphasize why Hax's layout is broken. It's for the jump shine, the jump cancel shine. This is one of the hardest techniques in the game. And the box layout is so effortless. So jump cancel shine is literally just middle pointer. It's just while holding down, of course, and you just jump cancel shine. You do this. And you get used to that, do this a bunch of times. If you get grounded, that's nice. It doesn't need to be grounded. And then all you have to do is wave dash down after. This is the hard part of the JC shine. It's doing something after. So once you get good at that and you get comfortable with doing a JC shine in place, try to jump out of a dash, right? So we're going to dash and jump frame one. And the idea is we want to get that cancel, this right here, during this drift animation. We basically want to cancel out us jumping here, but we still want to be doing this input with the dash back. And we're going to use the timing. We don't want to leave the jump squat. And what this is going to allow us to do is basically have like an electric from Tekken here. So we get a little, like a deep dish electric if you play Tekken, and you're almost approaching Falco here with a shine. So normally you'd have to enter run to do a shine, which is very telegraphed. As you probably see players all the time go for this. It works sometimes, but it's such a well-known technique that it has counterplay. So the JC shine allows you to play tight, quick, and efficient. So it allows you to shine within the dash parameters, which normally you wouldn't have access to. And the reason why you want to be proficient at this is that there's going to be spots where you're playing close quarter combat. People like to say, hey, you're giving the Falco place too much space. But a lot of the times in your head, you're thinking, well, I need to give him the space because I need to enter run to shine him. So this is where you need to decide to take yourself to the next level and have the ability to shine within your dash parameter, which is very, very powerful because most Foxes, I want to say more than 80% of Foxes just ignore this. They do not have this in their arsenal. They do not care. It's not there. But this is something that's learnable. It's very simple. And especially on the box, it's very, very easy. On the controller, I might be willing to do a guide on it, but I do Javi Claw, so I don't know how many people are primed for Javi Claw guides. But yeah, get used to doing this. And one specific routine that I do is against Falco. And I set Falco to Mistech. So here, you know what? Let me leave and go to combo here. And we'll go to FD. And let me set Falco to Mistech. So the really cool thing about JC Shine is in a lot of these matchups, a lot of the times Shine will knock them down right in front of you. So you're forced to either JC up smash read, or crouch and wait, or drill them to reset them, jab reset, and risk them potentially SDIing out of it. JC Shine allows you to get a little freaky, you know? So we can knock them down with a regular wave shine, and you can do this a couple times to just watch Falco and get knocked down. And if you're quick enough with a JC Shine, you'll notice if you do a running shine, you run through him, which is fine if you're reading the roll. But a lot of people these days do no tech mix-ups, and they just do like nothing as a mix-up. So you want to be careful here, and you can choose this intentionally, and you can basically, let me save this right here. You can jump cancel right here if you're quick enough. Like right there. And this can snag people at the ledge, and a lot of players tend to not DI at all. Mistech. And especially at the ledge here, the amount of like top Falco players that I fight that I cheese here is insane. So you get the wave shine, and then you can get a JC shine here, and sometimes they're not holding the right DI to get what they need, and they get destroyed. A lot of the times, if you're good at it, it covers the mistech, and if you're quick out of the JC shine, which is the hardest part of the JC shine. So you do the JC shine, and a lot of the times after people get that JC shine, they just stop. It's too overwhelming to throw in like a wave dash back, because if you've ever tried to loop JC shines, it's very, very difficult. I might go over a specific one. I can show you what I mean by this. So let me put in Marth here. So I'll pick Fox and I'll go over Marth. This is how you know if your JC shine is perfect. So normally Marth cannot be wave shined. So you know how Peach, you can do the slow wave shine where you buffer walk and you loop it forever, which is a great routine, by the way, for labbing it. Some characters don't, they go too far and you can't get it. But you see how that window is within that dash parameter for Fox? Look at that, see? So now, Marth has opened himself up to being technically wave shined. But to get what I mean here is I want you to get good enough to at least do this, right? But you'll notice after that JC shine, you kind of feel useless. You kind of feel like you can't do anything. You can do something, it's just difficult. So I always recommend people to get good at this. You can loop these. You can go forever. It's pretty hard, but this is probably a really good routine to basically confirm if you're doing it right. Ideally, against most players, you just want this one, because that's where you get the cheese kills in the corner and the overwhelming pressure. But you can loop it. You want to be able to wave dash out of that JC shine, ideally. I feel like as long as you can do that, I think you're at a level with the JC shine that's you can pull out in game, and it's very, very effective. So you can do a trial here with Marth, and you can technically do this across the stage. I haven't done it in a while, because to be honest, I stopped going for this against Marth. At one point I thought it was real, and it is real, but I think at some point this is enough. You get your wave shine, and then you deal damage with the second JC shine, and you react off that one. So I think that is probably the best opportunity with the JC shine, especially against Falco, and against a lot of these characters that don't give you the possibilities to do anything out of it. But this is more of like a trial to see if you're doing it right. I wouldn't necessarily lab this against Marth. I think like grabbing Marth or like down tilting is probably better these days. But yeah, this is just to give you an idea if you can even connect it. So a good test to see if you can connect it at all. So we have the jump cancel shine, very, very powerful in the dash animation. And we go back to training. So double shine, you have the wavesballz pressure, which has that same sort of timing. I definitely recommend this in the corner. And I tend to combo this. I do a technique where I wave shine and then double shine in the corner like this, because you need to be able to position yourself to deal with people who are holding down and floor hugging. So you can wave shine here, double shine wavesballz pressure to cover the, you hit them once, you do the double shine to cover the miss tech, and then you air dodge down for the West Ball shine to punish them basically tech rolling. So you're just putting yourself in a really good position here. So wave shine, double shine, air dodge down. It's a bit awkward. If you want to just do it in place, it's just West Ballz pressure. But this is just a way to kind of combine everything here if you want to lab all of it at once. So you'd wave shine and then do your West Ball shine. Pretty good adding it all in together for labbing purposes. What do we have after that? So we have double shine, we have the West Ballz pressure, and again, yeah, just look how the box is formatted here. It's in a square. Oh, I tabbed out. So shine, 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 and see how I'm rotating up to get that wave dash down, and then you can shine again. And you can't accidentally kill yourself here, which is why I tend to lab it a lot. I don't want to SD here. There we go. But kind of something like that. I practice this a lot. I do this in game a lot against Falcos. It's an interesting way to get quick and just to move within your dash parameters. It's very, very good to be comfortable within your dash frames, especially with the jump cancel shines. So I tend to find ways to practice my double shines, my West Ballz pressure within the JC area. So after that, let me go over double lasering. So this isn't necessarily too important, but there's going to be times where you want to double laser. And a lot of people have different ways of doing it. Back on the Smashbox, I used to tap jump with up, but because we're on the pinky now, there's different methods that we can use. So what I normally do is I do the double flicking method where you strum here, and you come down like this. You just strum it. Middle pointer, middle pointer, middle pointer, and you do it quick to where you get a wall rising laser, and then you just tap it a second time, and then you just loop it forever, and this is how you double laser. And you can get pretty comfortable with this. You can get used to this. It's a bit less strenuous than trying to do this, where you tap with the middle finger, then you try to tap with the pointer. It's very strenuous. You're activating your biceps here. It's not very good. You're going to get a lot of issues doing this, and it's honestly way harder. I can't even get that second laser to come out. So try to strum it here and do a double tap, double flick method. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can time. As long as you have the B button, the first B button pressed, you can actually lightly input a drift method. And I'll do routes forward and back here and get used to moving back for fading double lasers. Definitely a fun tech. People do this on the GameCube controller. I do find it a bit easier on the box, but I can do it on both. So it's not like you're cheating here. It's good to have, but be careful abusing it because double laser is pretty greedy. The fade back does make it a little bit safer. But that is pretty advanced tech. So let's go to the next advanced tech, which is something I add to my routines as well. NILS. So this is something a lot of my new videos have been going over, but this is nothing new. People have been nilling for decades. There's different timings for every stage, and I lab them all. I'm always on every stage labbing NILS. If you want to move fast, use the stages to manipulate your character to the less time you're floating in flips and spins in the air like this, the quicker you're going to be able to move. Dash is a very fast option. Fast fall is a very fast option. And the more you can reset your character to neutral, like this, or like pivots, and stop on a dime, you're going to be able to move faster and faster. So on Yoshi's, there's a couple methods of getting this nil. You can short hop and wait until the last frame before you fall to get the nil to move as quickly as possible. And you'll notice before, when I was talking about Shai drops, you kind of want to find methods to buffer a Shai drop. NILS are the perfect way to buffer Shai drop because your character's stuck for a little moment in time, and that allows you to input the shield and the dash back and buffer the the shield drop version. You might not have saw a shield there, but I inputted a shield. So you can slow that down. A shield was input there. Just keep that in mind that you can use labbing NILS as another way to lab Shai dropping. Very good at multi like dimensional like labbing. You're kind of just fitting in multiple different things in a specific route, kind of like how you use the teeter to lab uptilts or dashbacks or all kinds of things. You can use NILS to also do the same thing. Just work within all kinds of. You see how I turned around there? Just try to use a bunch of different techniques to create your routines. So we have that. So you can also nil from a full hop. You just have to drop down a little bit. I don't recommend this one. It's a bit more challenging, but it's the same concept. You want to wait right before you touch the ground. And a reminder, if you can nil, you can laser land. And you can 0-degree wave land, which is a non-angled wave dash. So I'm just holding back or forward and timing a wave dash here. And you know what? I will go and premise with a Shai drop. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but when you Shai drop, I don't shield with pinky here. This is the only other time, other than wave dash, that I shield drop, that I even use this button at all. Because I find it a bit easier to shield drop because you're using 2 fingers already to shield drop because you want to dash back and down to get out of the shield. And doing it with the pinky is, I feel like you're really, really over stressing the stressors here with your pinky, especially when you're doing it both ways. I find doing it this way is not that strenuous, but doing it this way is very, very painful forward. So I found a method. I sort of decided to give R the job for shield dropping, and I found it to be very, very efficient for specifically shield dropping. I started doing this when I read about Shai dropping and I was talking to Chef about it. So if you're going to use R for anything, wave dashing and Shai dropping are the 2 methods I only use it for. Even just regular shielding, I'll still shield with L on a platform and I'll shield drop. But if I intentionally know I'm doing a setup for Shai dropping, like from a NIL, I'll use R. So give it a try if you have trouble doing really, really fast Shai drops. Use R. So there's a few other methods to Shai dropping on Yoshi's story. Not Shai dropping, getting a nil, and that is from the ledge. So you can pretty much fastball and double jump nil here. It's a bit awkward to time, but it is possible. You can also laser land here for like 16 glint because you can nil. Like there. And if you can do that, you can wave land. And you can do all kinds of fun things like moon dropping. And if you can do all of this stuff together, you can pretty much get your nil, get your wave lands. It's a nice little timing mix-up. I practice this every day now. This is in my current routines. I don't recommend this for beginners or even intermediates. This is sort of something you should look at later. But just keep in mind that this is something that I have in a routine for myself, and it might be the reason why I play so fast and I get aerials out. So we have NILS there, and that's just for Yoshi's. There's other stages are going to have different timings for NILS. So let me just give you guys a visual for Battlefield. So on Yoshi's, you wanted to wait until you fell here. On Battlefield, you kind of want to double jump at the apex of your short hop, and you can laser land or even get the nil here, and then just Shai drop. It's kind of the same premise. Just keep in mind that different stages do require different timings here. And you can, same as on this stage, you can get to the platforms. So NILS, you can also get them from the teeter here. If you drop zone and then instant double jump, you can get them. If you fast fall, it's even quicker. So just some nuanced layered. If you want to lab some NILS, you can lab them from dash dancing on the platform, drop zone, double jump nil, or laser land. Definitely something to speed up your game if you want to mix things up. Shai drop, all kinds of fun stuff. So that's mostly it for all the normal movement tech that I go over daily. But I do want to go over some concepts for being fast at the ledge as well. I don't want to only talk about concepts on the stage. And like I said, I might have missed some techs, but these are most of the techs that I go over in routines and drills. If there's any tech that you were expecting to see here, and you didn't, feel free to leave a comment. I can go over it in a different video. But for the most part, these are techs that I use in my daily routine. And I started from from very easy tech to hard tech to kind of give you guys barriers to entry. And there are times where you kind of want to go back to the basics and mix it in with the hard tech. So let's move on to the ledge. Let me bring down my notes. So being fast is not only on the ground. You want to be able to, shy drop and then boom, you're on the ledge. Or maybe, you got hit and you grab the ledge. You want to be able to move fast from the ledge. So to even get fast on the ledge, you have to understand how the ledge works. And King has a really, really simple concept of how this worked on a video he had a long time ago. A lot of people like to talk about the bubble. Let me get out of this stage and go to combo training so I can pause better. A lot of people like to talk about this bubble, and they're not necessarily wrong here with the bubble. I just think newer players have, even me, I have a hard time paying attention to the bubble, and I don't want to look at the bubble. And after a while, you don't even care about the bubble. A lot of people use it for timing. It's harder to notice when the bubble breaks to give you the timing method. So I'm going to give you advice I heard from M2K years ago. I want you to look at Fox's feet. When you'll notice when he grabs the ledge, his legs aren't flat. So you're unable to move here. Right here, you see how the bubble has broken? His body is completely straight and vertical to the ledge. You can look at the visual of him grabbing the ledge and being completely vertical to know when you can drop from the ledge. So to be fast on the ledge, you need to be fast from dropping the moment you grab the ledge. So if you try to grab too early, then you're fucked. Then you're stuck. That's when you SD. So you want to be able to drop and then input like ledge dash as fast as possible. So you have a couple ways back from the ledge to being for being fast. So you have your typical ledge dash, which all it is for me, I use C back. I use C back to ledge dash. I do know that you can get more glint with down, but for me personally, I'm more consistent at getting 10 to 12 frame glints with the C stick. If I'm feeling it and I want to do the fastfall method for 15, 16 glint, I'll go for it. But for the most part, there's stages where you don't even want to do the fastfall method and you want to do a regular back. So for the most part, I have found a method where I consistently get 10 to 11 frames of glint with the C stick as long as I manipulate with a fire stall by using C back. Nope. Well, whoop. All right, this video is getting too long. Okay, so with the C back method, if I pay attention enough, I'll get 11 frames, 11 frames. So the reason why I do the C back method, and it might be a good idea for you to learn it too, if it's more comfortable. There's nothing objectively better about it. It's more of a ergonomic thing for me. So when you do a ledge dash with down, you're sort of forced to do this scoop method, right? Where you have to hit the down button before you hit forward, or you can't really slap it because your character will just kill themselves. So you do have to hit down, jump, and then hit forward. It's a little bit of crossing. So down, jump, forward, R. So it's kind of like a gallop. When you drop with the C stick, you actually don't have to do that awkward down forward input. You can just slap them down at the same time. So you'll notice when you wave dash, you can kind of do the same thing. You don't have to do this where you hit down then forward. You can kind of just hold it. You can hold both the buttons and wave dash. If you want a ledge dash, you can't do that. You have to kind of cross it. You have to intentionally drop, then jump, then hold forward so that you don't get caught underneath the stage. So the way I've helped myself make it more consistent is I simply drop with the C stick and I jump here. I do this. So the timing for the jump is entirely the right hand instead of it being shared with the left hand dropping and the right hand jumping. I've basically given the right hand a task and the left hand a task. And then at the end, you hit R to wave dash. So, and I found this to be a pretty consistent way to ledge dash. I recommend a lot of people to learn it this way. if they're bad at it. The goal is to get 10 to 12 glint. I know the possibility of getting 16 is great and all, but I understand my limits. I will never get 16 glint every single time. I generally get between 9 to 12 if I'm being fair. Sometimes I get 7 if I botch it. So be realistic with yourself. If the down method works for you, it works for you, it's fine. I lab it as needed, but just know that it's a bit more awkward if you're just learning it. But for some people, I've had conversations with them and they think it's perfectly easy and it's fine. So I'm mostly just giving you my method and other ways to lab things. So for me, I share the job with C-stick back and I slap down forward at the same time. So it allows me to kind of just slapstick the ledge dash with minimal thought process or ways of fucking it up. I definitely recommend this method. So I have been dropping back for a long time, even on GCC with C back. So it's sort of my fault I never learned C down. You can learn C down, and I sort of actually recommend C down. It's kind of too late for me because if you do it on the other side, you have to C back with in the other direction. So if you're on this side, you have to C back with C right, and if you're over here, you got to drop with C left. My brain has learned to adapt to it, and I do find it more ergonomic. My thumb doesn't have to stretch, so it's kind of up to you. Do you wanna come down here and stretch for it to make it a bit more simple for both sides, or do you want to learn dropping back C stick for this side and going on the other side for here? It's kind of up to you how you want to do things, and just get used to it that way. Or maybe you don't want to do C stick at all and you're good with just doing the fastball method. So there's usages for both. I have personally come to the realization that I'm perfectly fine with 10 to 12 glint ledge dashes as long as it comes out every time. That's where I'm at. But what else do I have? Ledge dash, C back. Okay, so the reason why I don't really care too much about my glint being 16 anymore, and I'm perfectly fine with 12 to 12 max with the C-stick method on all stages, is that a lot of good players they have counterplay now for 16 glint ledge dashes. They space around it. They have play styles around it. If you're gonna do it, they know you're gonna do it. There's a reason why you're doing it. It's good, and there's a reason why they know you're going for it. So they're gonna play around it. They're gonna have concepts around it. So coming back from the ledge, if you want to be fast, the mix-up to ledge dash is Laserland. So the only other way to deal with people who are reading your ledge dashes is to just do something else. So you can do what Mango does, which is plumb to top plat, and you can wave land here with a 0 degree. You can literally just get up and do this. You can just drop with a fastball. But if you're really, really good, Kalindi KJH has a really good video. It might be archived. You might have to search really, really far for it. But you can basically fastball here. And if you time a double jump and a while rising with a little drift forward, you can nil here, or laser land, or up air interrupt. So depending on which one you go for, you can get up to 3 glint with the aerial interrupt. And you can get 6 glint with the laser land. So definitely a good mix-up. The reason why I am an advocate for both of these tools and being quick and fast and efficient out of them is that good players are punishing you for doing this, ledge dashing and ripping an air, or even just doing a small one, and just we have a lot of routines here where we do, and we normally end up in this area after a ledge dash, and it's accounted for against good marths. So the idea is you want to find the quickest way possible to have your character get right here, because this is gonna being here is gonna dodge any move that a marth or a big character with a lot of range. They're not going to be able to touch you all the way over here unless they read you. So that's what we want here. We want to find easier ways to be quicker and make decision makings to outplay our opponent. So If you get good here, I do this routine all the time on ledge now. I do ledge dashes, laser lands, and it's okay if you get a weak one. You don't need glint here, which is the beauty of modern melee. Glint's nice, but these days, if you're fighting someone good, you're kind of just doing it for the spacing because ideally when you go for this, it's because you know that they cover this area right here. So you just want to get here as quickly as possible so you can whiff punish them. So I normally mix between my ledge dashes, being quick off the ledge here, doing a nair like that, or laser landing and doing a nair like that. It matters a lot. The difference is absolutely insane, and you're going to be surprised how fast you can play after ripping a laser land here. So just to give you an idea, you're stuck in waveland, like 10 frames here of lag. When you nil or laser land, you're reset instantly. People are not expecting you to laser land and just rip a JCL smash. They've never seen it before. It's simply too fast. It's efficient, and it's pretty much one of the most talked about techs in my stream these days. I recommend people lab it to a T. It's one of the more endgame techs, so do be wary about looking at this too early. But yeah, other than that, well, we have ledge dash. We have ledge dash at top plat. We have the laser land. So let's talk about firestall. Very simple. I just want to make sure you guys understand how it works. If you're on box, you should be very happy. This is so easy. You literally just hit back and up B. So that's going to get you used to using up, which is nice. So get used to this before you rip your ledge dashes. It makes ECB stuff a little bit easier. It raises your ECB. So definitely be careful of that. Always refresh your intangibility before ripping a ledge. Also, keep in mind, if you want to be cool and do like hack dashes as Fox, you technically can at top plat for Yoshi's and Battlefield. And I do these loops a lot. And this is why I kind of like C back here, because you can jump immediately. Not saying you can't jump immediately with the down method. There's just more room for error by falling too low. So C back will get you over the hump every time. And by hump, I mean ECB getting over the ledge so you can come back. And this is just another option you have from the ledge to be really fast. You can get a little tricky. You can find different kinds of routes. I'm pretty sure you can like get like a ledge cancel up there, but I'm not gonna go too strict in here. Just make sure you can fire stall. You can come up here. You can ledge dash, and you can laser land. Have a tree of options from the ledge so you can move quick and efficient and fast. There's one more tech I will show you from ledge. You just can't do it on Battlefield, and it is the side B. And there's two ways to do it. You can do back forward side B, which is a bit stricter. Or you can do C back forward, which is less buttons for this hand. And this is the way I do it. I do C back into forward B. And yeah, I think that is kind of it. That's kind of all I'm really going to cover in my beginning starter guide for BoxFox. A lot of these techs are ranging from easy to extremely hard, but I think all of the stuff is completely necessary to move fast and efficiently on the box. There's more tech, of course. There's always more tech in Melee. But yeah, if you're just starting out on the box, I do think this video can be pretty valuable for you. Take it tech by tech. Feel free to mix it together. You know, give yourself a routine, dash dance. What did we go over? Let me do a quick little recap, because like I can pretty much sneak in most of this tech in like 5 to 10 minutes before queuing up. So we'll do a little bit of a recap. We want to get comfortable with slapping the up, the mod X and slow walk with Uptilt. So you know you're gonna want to be able to do it out of a wave dash. You want to be able to do it out of a teeter, out of crouch. You want to run cancel. You want to be able to run cancel Uptilt. And you can just loop this. You can go back and forth, or you can do teeter cancel, up tilt, teeter cancel, up tilt. Just find ways to get quick and efficient. Wave dash across the stage. wave shine back across the stage as well as forward. Be able to slow walk out of wave shine. Shuffle shuffle aerials, non-fast form aerials, moonwalking. If you want to get tricky, you can add in the new tech that I've been talking about, which is 0-degree wave landing. It's a not new, but not a lot of people do it, and it's a bit tricky to set up. But it does aid in moonwalking. It gives you the best moonwalks in the game because they are the longest wavelengths in the game. But that's more of a specific offset tech. Be very good at dash dancing in the cactuar dash. Be good at moving in your dash. Be able to jump cancel your shines, jump cancel your up smashes, jump cancel your grabs. And if you ever enter a run, make sure you crouch to reset your state so that you can dash back or jump to get out. You want to make sure you have an option out of run, and you can also teeter cancel. And you can get good at this doing. You can kind of create your own little routes. Teeter cancel, up tilt, shuffle, get your teeter, wave land, rip it. I do this every day. If you see me stream, I'm pretty much doing a variant of all of this stuff put together. But yeah, I think that's about it. That's pretty much everything I'd like to cover. If you have any questions, concerns, or if this helped you out, let me know. I've been playing on the box for a very long time. I've helped people get pretty good at it. But I'm more of a tech savvy player. When it comes to getting good at the game, I'm still kind of working on that myself. Which you can tune into my streams. I am trying to climb for the first time in like a decade. So yeah. Anyways, that's my little starter guide for Box Fox. Anyways, good luck grinding, guys. Good luck. Have fun. It's the most important part, right? Have fun, guys.